Awesome stuff. Welcome to the first game of the playoffs that I will be casting here for Virgo Cup 6. In the even colors, we have Plateau Gold, as Samuel is Xing the TC locations of his opponents, because of course he is Vietnamese, so he can do that. Let me go to Gaia's point of view there. Yeah, so in the even colors, we have Plateau Gold. In the in the odd colors, we have Quetzaklan, if I'm correct in that. So let's just introduce the players first, and then we'll talk about the civs and the map and things like that. So in the blue here, we have GG Thief playing as the Britons. In the green, we have Cuchara Loredo playing as the Poles. Okay, so the Poles was for Patagonia. Linus here playing as the Lithuanians. I like that. In the gray, we have Spirit of the Low playing as the Mayans. On the other side, we have OXDB playing as the Koreans. In the yellow, we have Leona playing as the Slavs. In the purple, we have Falco playing as the Indians. And last but not least, we have Samuel playing as the Vietnamese, as we already saw. So yeah. Let's see. Maybe we can quickly talk about the civs here. Like, what's interesting is of course the flank civ picks. Having Koreans and Vietnamese. Ethiopians, of course, was banned. But it's interesting that Plateau Gold didn't pick either Britons or Mayans. Like, they let Quetzalcoatl pick both of those. So Quetzalcoatl, they have Mayans and they have Vikings. Britons. Arguably two of the three strongest archer civs on Patagonia. So, that's interesting to me. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that Vietnamese and Koreans are bad civs, right? They certainly are not. Not in a team game for sure, if you have some time. Koreans, of course, with the free armor upgrades can be good. Vietnamese with the extra HP and the archers can be good as well. All sorts of things that matter. It's just, it's just interesting to me. But really, the two picks that do stand out to me is, for one, is the Slav pick here. Slav's not the most conventional pocket civ anymore, I would say. But with the 10% faster working farms, can still pump out a lot of knights, so it should be still pretty good. Now, if you think, okay, well, their late game cavalry play is not that strong unless you go for boyars, right? Because you don't get paladin. Well, you do get the final armor upgrade, and in that you already beat the Poles player, which is the other weird pick, well, weird, unexpected pick. Because again, not because Poles are bad, but because there are better pocket civs out there, right? Poles don't get the last armor upgrade, so if the game continues on longer, which a team game is, likely to do, you lack that final armor upgrade, and that can become a problem. Also, I'm pretty sure the Slav player will not be happy to see that there's a Lithuanians player here, because if the Slav player thinks about making boyars, then the Lithuanian player can make Lightis, which are the natural counter. Because boyars have a lot of melee armor. That is what they have going for them. And Lightis are like, I don't care about your melee armor. Because they literally ignore all of that. Don't ask me how they do that. How you would ignore an armored opponent. But they do. Okay, so let's have a look at the resources for the flanks here. As Red has an idol there. Back gold for Red. Bringing in his boar right now as well. Back main gold for Red, next to his deer as well. So that's fine. If you wall between the walls here, between the edge of the map and the wood there, you should be fine. Has some forward gold. Out here the berries are forward as well. So that's might be a bit tricky to secure because of the wood lines. There's only two really around you. So now you have. This one is kind of far away, so it doesn't really count as a helpful wood line there. So Red will have to wall a bit to secure his map. For Gray has a back berries, but his main goal is forward, so is another secondary goal, which is on a hill, and that is not a goal that you're going to take anytime soon. That is a goal that you can take when you can castle here or something like that, when you can take map control over here. Not sooner, so the main goal is quite exposed, and the other gold is out here. It's kind of on the inside of the map, quite far from the TC, so again, this gold is not necessarily safer than this one. And probably what Gray's going to do is going to try to wall around this. Maybe that's what this villager is for. Yeah, there you go. It's going to wall around this gold. And it's going to go for the main gold, so that makes sense to me. On the other side, on the orange already walling a bit to the TC, but the main gold that is kind of forward will be outside of these walls. He will probably no, also not go for the secondary gold, which is also outside his walls because he's walling right there. So wait, okay, so he is gonna go for the main gold. Look, now he's walling toward it. So it's still a risky main gold. It's quite out in the open. The other secondary gold is to the back, but it's behind a wood line, which is never nice, right? Because you can put your villagers here, and yes, they're less likely to be found, but if they have to run, they have to run all the way around the wood line, which is and the mill, so that's annoying. I also like how Orange is taking the deer here with a mill. I like that. It's just an extra bit of food that you can really use for a bit of wood investment, which for Vietnamese is totally fine. On the other side, last year we have blue going for main gold, 4 on gold. That's a lot on gold, actually. Anyways, it's going to go straight archers, of course. Yeah, the gold will be behind this wall, which is pretty nice for him. Then he has a secondary gold forward here as well. Berries are to the back and another gold right next to that, so he will be fine with that. Although Orange has spotted all of that, I should presume. I'm not seeing any men-at-arms shenanigans except from Gray. Yeah, okay, Gray is going for men-at-arms here. He's going for 4 men-at-arms, actually. That's a lot of men-at-arms, and Red is not walled up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Red is not walled up at all. He has no protection, and he is also still in Dark Age. He hasn't gone up to feudal age just yet. So he's actually making the right call here, fighting with villagers, because these are not men-at-arms yet. But the men-at-arms upgrade is about to come in here. The eagle is here as well. There's 4 men-at-arms and an eagle. That is so scary. And Red has to abandon his one and only wood line. He's not gone to the other one. This is a really bad start for Red right here. Red also does not have barracks, which is very concerning to me. Because that means that if he gets the feudal age, which he just did, you can't make an archery range here. And Red also, let's look at the resources here. He does have the wood to drop this, so right now he should immediately drop a barracks here. Drop a barracks, drop an archery range, and immediately clear this up, because the longer you let this army roam around your base, the more damage you're taking, right? The more delay you're taking. Purple is sending some scouts forward here. Probably to hit blue, who's still open. Has the archer ranges up, so at least blue can defend himself. Not so much for red so far. And yellow sending in the scouts together with red to clear this up, but that is 4 men-at-arms. Gets the scout and one of the men-at-arms, but I still think these scouts are going to go down. So, you know, all you're doing now is making the scout rush from yellow lots weaker, as Gray is about to run into the town center. Gray, split micro, nice. Loses one of the men-at-arms though. Oh, loses a second. That is unfortunate. This is why you know, you set your units on either stand ground or defensive stand. As Ramses says, hi Tim, what's up? How you doing? I'm good. I'm just casting in the playoffs here. Welcome. Well, so far for the men-at-arms from Gray. And look, Red was so focused on that he only now is dropping a barrack. So he's, you know, the damage has been done. He lost a Vil. That's one, I think. And then after that, you have to abandon your entire wood line. You're cutting stragglers. There's no archer range up yet. So Gray has, you know, the lead in archers, at least if he starts making archers now. Has some spearmen out. And also, Teal should have more scouts than Yellow now. Yeah, as you can see, Yellow has 2 scouts and one of them is kind of weak. So yeah, he can't fight this. So now you still, you know, you're still kind of vulnerable here. Except that the army that came to save you now is too weak to save you this time around. So yeah, has to abandon his wood line again. And it just keeps snowballing this way. That's why it's so important to immediately get your archery range up. Immediately deal with the threat. As Purple is fighting inside green space. Gets a scout, but loses a scout as well. So it's virtually even. Might have killed a villager. Yeah, he killed a villager there, actually. A walling vill has gone down, but now loses his scouts to the spearmen. That's unfortunate. In the meantime, Red losing a villager here. Now there's archers and there's scouts in your base. He's walling in this wood line, which I like. His base is completely unsecure right now. And another vill going down. Ay. They could also push through to the gold, right? I mean, if he was planning on making archers, not so much. As Yellow does pick off a great archer there, which is good. Gujara says, hey, we picked Poles because of the +1 scout attack bonus versus archers, but Falco's Indians made us change plans. Yeah, that makes sense. Ramses says, nice stream. Thanks for the efforts in the name of the Topos clan. We are YouTube followers. Well, thank you, guys. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I will have more uploads on YouTube coming as well. It's just, I got it delayed a bit by the update because I can't... Well, you know, I have to revert to another patch to watch the replay so that I can make thumbnails now for my videos. I have all the videos ready. I just need thumbnails. That's the problem. And no, red has to abandon the gold because he still has no archers. Why not build an archery range? Like, come on, red. You got to defend yourself. This is a war game. As this one villager's like, huh, where's everyone going? Wait, what? What? And there he goes. Yeah. He's that one, you know, he's that one person that, he's that one YouTube that, did I say YouTube? I mean, that one person that no one ever tells anything, and then, you know, you find out too late. Oh, not YouTube, your stream. Okay, it makes sense. Still wanted to give an update on YouTube anyways, because it's been a while since I uploaded there. And that might be weird, but, yeah, that's why. Oh, Blue's just defending with archers here. Blue has a lot of archers, of course. He's Britain's. Britain's produce faster, so, you know, you can get a lot of archers out that way. And Orange should be careful here, because that's a lot of archers here, too. So, Purple losing his scouts now. Green coming from behind here. We're going to get the surround. I think Orange is going to lose all his archers there. They were just sitting there and allowing Green and Blue to coordinate here. And indeed, the extra scout attack versus archers makes this a lot easier. That is true. Of course, Indians will become a problem later on because Indians make camels. And, well, that was something that I was going to mention as well, is that if you don't have a camel civ, you know, in Lithuanians and Poles, right? Like, what I always say is that what I like is the combination between a knight civ and a camel civ, or a knight civ that can make camels, just in case you're up against Indians or another camel civ, and you have something to address that. Also, these villagers for red have been idled by this one archer in the wood line, which is such a smart move. And it's just idling red's economy completely. But even now that he has an archer range up, it's just looking really rough for red here, as Orange is forced to drop a tower on his gold because he lost his archers. He knows that Blue will send those archers forward, and villager going down, another vill going down. It's getting close. Tower will go up. Orange will have to defend with the archery at his home, but lost 2 vills there. And ooh, camels coming out because of course Purple made it to Castellates there already. Yeah, Blue will just want to run away here. Yeah, that's too many archers. You don't want to fight that. Want to keep your mass alive. Kuchar says Falco's FC was great. Yeah, I mean, he didn't technically really go fast castle because it was quite, you know, kind of late. And he made some scouts too. But yeah, I think it was a smart move for him not to stay in feudal age too long, right? Because once you get to those camels, you suddenly have a pretty good unit here. Despite lacking some pierce armor, you get 1 extra with Indians, so it's okay, right? But you immediately counter the knights from the other side, so that's really smart. As Yellow has to drop a tower on his woodline to defend himself, but there's no one here, and Gray and Teal just making their way all the way over here right now. The left side for Plateau Gold, man, is in trouble. And the tower doesn't even go up. Oh god, and he has to delete it as well. So not only does the tower not go up, now you lost the stone of the tower as well, as you can see. Let's see, yellow, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, 104 stone. So he can just build a town center. Still that one archer, man. That one archer. I think red is finally going to deal with that now. That archer is hard to see anyways. I understand that. I definitely say the advantage is to Quetzaklan right now. It's just no doubt about it. The left side has been completely kind of overwhelmed by the archer play so far. Yellow is almost in Castellates, can start making some knights. I think Gray will probably want to get out of here now. Red just is in such trouble right now. Like, look, he has 72 food. Not enough farms here. It's only 7 farms here, so that's not enough to get up to Castellate. So he's going to be far behind. He's also making skirmishers, which cost food as well. It's going to come down to orange and purple here. Orange and purple have to be, you know, have to do something amazing here. They have to kill blue and green fast, because the longer this goes on, gray and teal will definitely kill red. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, red's job at this point is no longer push. There's no way. Red cannot push anymore. He has to hold now. Blue also has to hold now. He is kind of on the back foot here because not in Castellate. And his opponents both made it to castle age before, and blue only 40% of the way, so he's losing a bunch of archers here. I think you keep these archers defensively and try to wall behind this as good as you can. Losing some archers. Ay. And now the units get in, and now you don't have archers. Ay. Oh boy, house walls behind to force this into the TC, which is good. You know, you don't want these let these crossbows in, but the camels are like, we don't care about that. Quick walls on the gold. Quick walls succeed on that side. On the other side, no, the palisade walls are broken, and the gold village have to leave, but they can't. They're being blocked by the camels. This is really bad for GG Thief here. He's kind of getting the treatment Red got, and Orange is just standing under the TC fire, sniping all those villages. That was a lot of vills that went down there. And Blue is all but abandoning his base with half of his villagers here. Ay. Yeah, and green is also like, yeah, what do I make, man? What do I make? Because, you know, Indians, they make camels. Oh, no, Blue! Now Purple's going to see that. Purple's like, haha, vills. Yeah, so green is going for pikemen instead of knights here because of the pulse. Although, right, if you can go for the Schlachta privileges, the cheaper knights actually trade evenly against the camels. Like I've seen Spirit of the Law talked about that. Like it's so cheap that even if you lose more knights than usually would, it still works out better in the end. As we have way more knights for the Lithuanian player here than the yellow player, because yellow was delayed a little bit here, only now going to a third stable. So it looks like yellow deciding against making a lot of vills here. Instead, we'll probably go a bit all in knights here. But he kind of has to. He kind of has to, because red is on the back foot here. Red is still in feudal age. Red is not making villages because he's trying to get food for the castle age. But well, siege coming forward now. Gray and all can just kill red right now. Like there's not much that red can do. It's all up to yellow here. Yellow is in castle age, can make knights here with the Slav farming economy. Has to. You know, what yellow needs to do is keep red alive as long as possible and allow them to kill blue here. And blue is in a pickle here, because the thing with pikemen is they are very slow and they do die to crossbows. So if blue can't get crossbows on the field, which right now not really a thing, then the pikeman play won't work either. That's the thing. You need to count like these two units. This is why that is the meta, right? Archers and cavalry, because they counter each other's weaknesses, right? They kind of make up for that. So the crossbows snipe pikemen, the cavalry snipes these skirmishers, and that's why you usually don't want to see trash units in a game, as yellow is chasing down these knights. But it's all good for gray, right? Because all the teal wants to do is keep these knights away from this army for gray, so gray can just besiege the town center. And worse still is also that red still needs to click up here, and red might never make it this way. As to help, but the pikeman will save the mangonel on 1 HP. Jesus Christ. Yeah, blue's kind of surrounded right now. Looks like green wanted to go out to stone here. Stone with pull is always nice, right? Because you get that gold trickle. But yeah, right now blue is in a bad spot. He's having a hard time expand here. Such a bad spot that actually purple decides to come over here with his camels, trying to engage over here to keep red alive, but red is going to lose his town center here. Oh god. So not only are you not in castle age, you now lost your town center. Man, red has such a bad, red start has been so bad for him, man. Just a bit of walling on this wood line, and who knows what would have worked. As purple runs in here, but there's pikemen here, and pikemen counter camels really nicely here. And the reason why gray added pikemen is because red doesn't have a unit to fight that. See, normally red would make archers, right? And then you couldn't go for pikemen, but right now, basically, gray can protect his own army with the pikemen. And teal could, in theory, if he wanted to, swing over to the other side and help there. Or just raid yellow himself, like something like that. Like, that's the thing. Normally you want to stay together, because if you leave your flank, right, they might get crushed by knights. That's definitely a thing, as the pikemen are going home, but leaving the crossbows. Okay. And that's the thing. As yellow actually running into gray's base here, but oh boy, gray with the pikemen. He's going to get some hits in. It's going to get some hits, and one knight going down, one knight kind of weak now. But yeah, yellow is going to run out of here. The only thing is now you brought your pikemen back, you brought your knights back, and yellow is actually just going to go, and he's going to snipe the siege. Yeah, this is really good play. You draw your opponent back to your base, and now he's going to go right for those mangonels. This is really smart. It's really smart, and you just run right out of there again. One mangonel going down, and two mangonels going down, and now you run away. Perfect. Or go for the... Okay, well, that works too, I guess. Yellow still had some army at home, so I guess he felt the need to kill the crossbows here. He's not going to get all of them because there's too many knights here for Teal. But he got about half of them. But it was a really nice move there to snipe the siege. That was good. Purple right now. See, this is kind of a problem. See, because purple is sending camels over here to help on this side. Red is dead, right? Red is really dead. Like, he's walling in his DC, which is not going to save you there. Red is dead. Orange is going up the imp. Purple is going up the imp. Jesus Christ, that's good. That is good macro right there. But see, why I'm saying that this is problematic is that you kind of want these camels to be here. I know there's pikemen out there, but that's what what orange is for. Once orange and purple both make it to imp, you need to have a push going on blue right now. Because you're giving blue time to reboom here, to build stone walls, to fortify himself. Because, again, what blue needs to do is, as we have long swords. Alright, well, we don't get to see long swords in team games a lot. Well, feast your eyes on that. Quetzalcoatl Laredo choosing to go for long swords here, which... I mean, they're a bit better than pikemen, that's for sure. They have more pierce armor, so they survive. Arrow shots a bit better, and they also got one more melee armor nowadays since the buff, as you can see. So they're actually better against melee targets as well. I still think a knight still beats them. I don't know about a camel actually, so I'm not sure about that. Okay, Teal has spotted this. So Teal walling this in with with gates even. So there's not really a place that these knights can break through. Especially because Teal's army is somewhere else. So Teal doesn't really have anything to deal with that. But could now run into Yellow's base, although Yellow castled this, so he is protecting himself a little bit. But yeah, Red is in trouble. Red is not going to really be able to contribute much to this game at this point. He's just kind of dead. And because that is the case, right? Because that is the case, I don't think you should spend too much time trying to save Red, right? Like, what Red should do, actually, you should have TC'd behind Yellow, right? Just get your farming economy rolling and get the castle age as fast as you can so you can contribute something, right? That would be the best move, I would say. Alrighty, well, Imperial Age now in for purple and orange, and yeah. Red actually on the way to castle age, so never mind about the food economy then. Could contribute something, that's good. Purple now cleaning up the knights here from Teal, because again, it's knights versus camels. These knights are fully upgraded, but so are the camels, and they have, they're Indian camels. They will be Imperial camels soon, as we have a fight on the hill, because the camels aren't on this side. Orange is forced to retreat here. Didn't get the arbalest upgrade yet either. Oh, he's gonna lose his crossbows here before he gets the arbalest upgrade. That's a lot of longswords, man. That's a lot of longswords. And I don't think right now... Now, Orange will have to keep microing this back, just going back and forth and shooting this. Actually can't kill the longswords in one shot anymore, which is pretty good. Camels not doing too well against the longswords either. The longswords will beat camels then, that's for sure. Blue trying to march here as well, but yeah, Blue will have trouble killing these camels with the 4 pierce armor. Camels Indians do not get the final armor upgrade. But really, for the camels, you don't really need that. But yeah, what do you do with Indians when your opponent doesn't go knight, huh? I mean, the longswords will kind of disappear here in a second, because again, they're still longswords. They're still fighting, units that will have Imperial Age upgrades in a sec. Our attack upgrade and heavy camel about to come in, so blue and green should still be careful with how far they go out here, especially since they're not going up the Imperial Age here. They need something. Teal is going up the imp though, as red is kind of building stuff in front of yellow here. They haven't killed red off, but they're thinking about it. Imperial Age now also for gray, so they're thinking about a push on this side, and it's important. They need to push, because if they don't, orange and purple will at some point push back against blue and green here. There's green also clicking up the Imperial Age, and he's getting Shlakta privileges right now, so that means cheaper Cavalier. But yeah, unfortunately, you do lack that final armor upgrade, so they are worse against heavy camel than they are against camels in Castle Age, because at least you got the full upgrades there. Looks like we kind of missed some stuff over here. We definitely missed some things over here. Looks like green, yellow, that army that we saw roaming around earlier went into Green's town, sniped the town center, killed a bunch of villagers. Let's see what the vill count for green is. Ooh, 52. He lost a lot of vills there. You're up against Falco, who has 124 villagers. That was a really good raid from yellow there. That was a pretty good rate. I mean, looking at the vill counts, the booms for the pockets on the plateau team are, have been better than the ones on the Quetzaklan here. 52, 72. So that's not a lot of vills to work with, actually. Yeah, Teal should definitely try to get his vill count up here, and green definitely needs to reboom. It's gonna re-TC the farm spots, of course. But yeah, that was a good raid from yellow, and now yellow is just. The army that he has is so massive, and it also means that it's going to be difficult here for Gray to push it on his own. He's actually making more barracks for, Yamayan, so I guess halberdiers. On the other side here, Longsword is now fighting Heavy Camel, and Heavy Camel will do better here. As Steel has a lot of his army here as well, but this army cannot fight the Heavy Camels, that's for sure. Oh boy, we got a fight going down on the hill here. Long swords, knights, crossbows, all here fighting purple on his own. And purple has Imperial Age army against Castle Age army, but is outnumbered. But look how much army went down there, because Imperial Age army is just so strong. And now the Arbalests are here. Now it's going to get tricky. Now it's going to get really tricky. I'm really curious what Green's going to go for here in the Imperial Age, because he did get Schlachta privileges, so he could go for Cavalier, but he's been making infantry so far. But the question is how good that is going to be against Arbalest. That is the question. He'll now did make it to Cavalier here. He still needs to get the last armor upgrade as well. Okay, yellow now sending his knights around to kill this town center, but gray actually has halberdiers here in defense, so he's killing all the knights, and yellow is not running away because he right-clicked the TC. So those knights are gonna go down. That's a good clear up for gray, because imagine if yellow had added up those knights with these knights, that would have been a lot of army. In any case, blue and green do lose the fight over here, because again, you're up against Imperial Age army. It's not much you can do. Oh, and thank you, Tano, for the follow. Really appreciate that. Blue probably migrating out here with some vills. You're kind of running out of resources as well, because that extra gold that belonged to blue, the extra stone, kind of inaccessible right now. It's actually purple who's just going to castle that. He's going to say, well, that's nice gold, I'll take that. Purple also going out to the extra resources in the middle of the map. Yeah, this is a good play. This is a good play right there. There's lots of extra resources to expand to. And if green is not going to punish that, you have to scout it first as well. Well, then you can take him. As green is also dropping some stables here, so he is going to go for at least a cavalry unit. Looks like Cavalier here as well. They will be discounted, of course, with pulls. But what do you do against the Arbalest ball? That is the problem, right? That is the real problem. And blue right now, blue is in defensive mode. He's just walling up, stone walling up. But the problem is there's one house. This house is not, is a weak point in the stone wall, and now it's Imperial Camel. It's like a camel paladin. And also worse with Indians, they shred buildings. Yeah, so blue trying to hide his vills, but look how fast this DC goes down. Look at how fast that DC goes down. It's like Saracen archers over here. So you think, oh, my vills are safe. No, they're not safe whatsoever. And there goes the TC. And purple is not even going to kill the vills. He's like, yeah, you orange, you do that. You do that. I mean, orange should be careful. You are fighting around a siege workshop, and there is a mangonel in there. There's another mangonel in the way. So, yeah, but for now, blue is getting massacred over here, and you knew that was going to happen. As soon as purple decided to throw in some units, in support here, as the mangonel does go down without ever shooting one thing, you knew that this was going to happen because blue was behind there. And yellow right now has so much army. I know there's halberdier, but there's so much army. It's really difficult for gray to push this. And red red actually bounced back into a crossbow army of his own. If he ever makes it to imp, maybe there's even a chance here. As gray doesn't have bracer. Oh, that is a mistake. That is a huge mistake. Because these Arbalests do very little damage to these Cavalier now. At least not as much as they would. Now, of course, these halberdiers do quite fine here, but the halberdiers will die to the crossbows nevertheless. This is really good. I'm really surprised that Red actually managed to get this much army on the field, being that far behind. I mean, he was at 1,000 score while other people were at 3,000 score. And now suddenly, look, the Halberdier don't do anything. Because they might lose to the Arbalest, these crossbows, but they will still kill the kill the whose MTC was down? Is that Blue's MTC that went down there? I must have missed that. Where's Blue going imp right now? Okay, he's going imp on a safe DC. Was he going imp on this DC then? Oh, that's bad. That sucks as well. I'm sorry, I missed that. I didn't see that. As Yellow is taking the fight over here. And there's some Arbalest there, but not enough. And again, they don't have Bracer. There's no Bracer. The Arbalest don't really do full damage to these Cavaliers. So it's a clear up on the left side here. So we have an Eagle switch now for Grey. Eagles will definitely counter the Archers for Red here. And I think they will get the Trebuchet, but it's a bit too late now. The castle has already gone down. So Grey will have to abandon this position. And I think Yellow and Red will be fine. I think they will be fine. And that is not good news for the Quetzaklan team as well. As you have raids in the back of Yellow's economy. Purple is just spamming Hussars that way. Teal is running around with some Cavalier here to do some counter raiding. But at the same time, you know, Blue is kind of dead here. Actually, VTC'd in the same spot. I don't think that's going to last too long here. But because Blue is, you know, the same score as Red, they might decide, okay, we're going to kind of bypass Blue. We're going to go for Green here first. You know, to stop him from ever getting to an Hussar spam. And Green, of course, he did take some damage earlier. Has bounced back to a 96 Vils, but now you're getting raided by Hussars. It's hard to see those small groups, right? Like, those are more dangerous almost than the bigger groups. Teal's taking out some stables over here. One Hussar is raiding the farmland for Grey. And again, if you don't notice that one Hussar can kill a lot of villagers. Can kill a lot of vills. Actually, where are they coming from? They're in a corner here. So Purple is just sending Hussars everywhere right now. Halberdier play is made more difficult by the fact that, you know, Red has made crossbows here, has made crossbows to defend himself. The position is getting better and better for Plateau. The champions, unfortunately, they are not Malian champions. They don't have that extra pierce armor, so they will die to the Arbalest here. Pike will still do quite well, I'd say, against even Imperial Camel, especially Halberdier would do fine. They do snipe the Trebuchet here, which is good. You know, it's difficult for Purple to engage here. He doesn't want to lose his Imperial Camels. So it's going to be up to Orange to snipe that. But Orange right now is busy killing a lot of Cavalier. These kind of situations are the tests that we're looking for. Look how fast these Cavalier die to the Arbalest. And this is why people say that Poles just... They need something in late game there. Kuchara says, great pocket play from Plateau. I agree. They did a good job. Like, Purple is definitely, like, doing a great job, and so is Yellow. That raid on Green earlier definitely set Green back a bit. And also making so many Cavalier here, keeping Red alive. Like, Red is not dead, and Red is actually contributing too. Like, contributing way more than I thought he would be able to. Like, he's contributing a lot right now. Because it's forcing Grey to make skirmishers right now to address the crossbows. Blue is down to 7 villagers, so Blue is kind of out of this game now. I think it's hard to come back into the game at this point, right? It's kind of impossible. And now you're being pushed on both sides. Grey is fighting on the outskirts of his town. Blue is, Blue is kind of dead. Teal is here with some knights to help on this side. But yeah, of course, these Cavalier. Even though they're Lithuanian Cavalier, you still lack that final armor upgrade, actually. Ooh, he didn't go for that as well. And they called it GG. They realized that they're being pushed on both sides. Blue is dead, more dead than Red, and there's just not much that they can do at this point. They're just being constantly raided. They can't get counter raids in. And not to mention, trade will be up for the Plateau team as well. Although Teal was wise to that. He was there. But yeah, GG. It's a really solid first game, this. And also a nice comeback here from Plateau, because I honestly thought, like, when Red died, late Dark Age, early Feudal, like, he started to fall behind. You know, it was looking pretty grim on this side. But the defense was solid. The defense was really solid on this side. You know, keeping Yellow alive, keeping Red alive as long as they could. You know, And in the meantime, buying time for orange and purple to do some stuff on the other side and do stuff they did with the faster Imperial Ages, with that attack advantage, pushing back blue, doing so much damage to blue that blue was not able to get up the imp. And also, if I take that correctly, I think it was Blue's DC, where he was researching Imperial Age then, that went down. So that definitely delayed his imp as well. Of course, that's... yeah, I wish I could watch that back, but unfortunately this is not Capture Age, so I have to just catch everything, which is definitely a challenge, but we're here for that. That was Blue's DC. Yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah, well, that sucks for Blue then. That always sucks because Imperial Age is such a long upgrade. It's two minutes and like 30 seconds. So if if it gets cancelled, you have to research the whole full time again. So. Have a look at the statistics here, shall we? Yeah, the purple's pocket play was really good. Look at that, 306 kills. That's a lot of kills, a lot of raiding that was going on as well. Army count for orange, very good as well. Gray never really got to that army count just there. I don't know, like it looked like he wasn't making a whole lot of Arbalest. He might have been thinking about an Eagle Switch earlier. Although I would have stuck with Arbalest, honestly, myself, because you killed your opponent, right? In any case, right, that's a lot of food collected as well. 38,000. That's Indian economy for you. Villagers are cheap, so the boom is fast. Even out booming the Slav player here. Also some tribute being sent around. Yeah, they were slinging red as well. Then okay, that's good. I like that. Like not leaving your buddy sinking. Look at that. Everyone contributed there. I like that. That's so wholesome. That's so nice. Nice booms here. A bit better booms here for Plateau Gold. Someone also collected a relic. Wow, you had time and all that madness to collect a relic, Ors. Oh, that's actually nice. They all had 3 castles there. That's funny. Pretty good for them. But yeah. Well, we are going to go to the second game of the set. Then it will be the home map for Quetzaklan, which is Glaciar, if I'm correct. And well, that could that is of course a more boomy map. That could take a while. So let's buckle up, buckaroo for that one. Now, is Quetzaklan going to be able to bounce back here and go for the reverse sweep, or will Plateau Gold manage to close out the game here with a 2-0? We will see now, because I will start the game and let's go. Da-da-da. Here we go. Awesome stuff. There we go. Now you guys can see it as well. Welcome to the second game of the first set of the day. We have, well, it's Quetzaklan versus Plateau Gold. Quetzaklan is down by 1 point here. This is their home map, the map on which they have prepared a strategy to try to bounce back, to try to beat Plateau Gold, and then go for the reverse sweep. So, let's introduce the players again with the civs they picked. We have Tatars here for Spirit of the Low. That's what I was wondering, if we were going to see Tatars on this map. Huns for GG Thief. So GG Thief was blue in the last game, but here he is a pocket playing Huns. I like that. We got Byzantines for Linus in the teal here. In the gray we have Vikings for Cuchara Laredo, and I love Vikings on this map, which we'll see in a second. On the other side, we have Samael going for the Portuguese here, as purple is letting orange know that the wood is on this side. The orange might not have known that. That's always the question, right? When it's not your home map. Oops, I need to stop turning on the fog of war for Gaia. When it's not your home map, like, it's always a question: how much did you play this map? Like, how much did you practice on this map? You never know. I mean, it's hard to... There's 13 maps in the tournament. I don't think you can really practice strategies on all 13 of them. So you kind of have to just ban the ones you really don't want to play, and then hope that you know enough about the map that do get picked to still beat your opponent. In any case, in the purple here, we have Leona playing as the Persians. I like that as well. Then we have Italians here for yellow. Now, I would have switched yellow and purple around here. Persians being more... also really strong on on land as well. And lastly, in the red, we have Falco playing as the Japanese. I like that. That's a pretty good flank civ. Kuchara says we prepared more Iceburn, but they banned it. Oh yeah, that's true. They did ban it, didn't they? Yeah, that makes sense to me. Also, like, Goths would have been pretty good on Iceburn. I can imagine that might be why you banned it. In any case, well, let's have just a quick discussion about the map here, because Iceburn is quite a wacky map. Now, for one, as you have already seen, all the players start in a line on one side. On either side of the map. All the wood is in a line to the edge of the map as well, so that's all your wood. The rest is quite open. Now, there is only one land bridge between the teams, which is right here. It's the titular glacier. That's the only passageway that you can use to cross to the other side by land. Now, there are, of course, is also an icy river that separates the two teams, filled with fish that you will definitely want to fight over, because the team that controls the fish probably has the faster Imperial Age, has a good shot of winning the game. But as we have seen, winning water is not the same as winning the game in this map, which I always like. I don't like maps where you win water, you win the game. That's boring. That's unless it's islands, I guess. But hybrid maps should be like that, right? Where you can get water for an advantage, but it shouldn't be a GG moment immediately. And this map is not that, which I like, so that's really good. In any case, players are thus separated, so therefore what you see is that usually 2 or 3 players out of the team will go for water. Try to control the map. The role of the flanks, right, which will be red and blue, always red and blue on this map, by the way, is to protect the passageway to their base. And what you often see is that players will wall this entire section. It's a lot of walling, but if you get all of this secured down, there is no way in through land. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, but again, it's a lot of walling. It's a lot of walling to do for the flank player. Often the case, the flank player does not dock himself, because that's a lot of wood investment in fishing ships in a dock while you need to wall all of this. So, I don't know. I actually like Byzantines as the flank here. I know for the Byzantines, of course, they're going to be used for the fire ships in this case for teal. That's pretty clear. But also the extra HP on the buildings makes it so much more strong when you build fortifications on this edge of the map, which I like about it as well. That's why they're called a defensive civilization. All the cheap trash units as well is pretty good. For the rest, there's some resources here and there. Also close to the shoreline as well. Well, actually not here, but right there, this gold. So if you lose water control, you might also lose access to your shore resources, which is definitely a concern. And all the relics are on this glacier. Also some snow leopards, so if you're going to send forward villagers, you got to be very careful. Loom will not be enough. You kind of need to send some military along with it. And red is going to wall up already here. Not sure yet if blue is going to do that. Blue seems more interested in economy so far. It's also going up to feudal age already, whereas red is not. Is only now going to click up here, so it's a bit behind. Now, of course, Persians are docking. It's going to be difficult to push Persians off of water because of that extra dock HP. As you can see, it's double the normal HP from a dock. Orange will go to water, of course. These Portuguese, Italians. Oh, that's interesting. Yellow hasn't docked yet, and yellow actually making a barracks here. That is interesting, because you see that's why they switched around Persians and the Italians. So the Persian player actually going to go for water here, not so much the Italian player, which is surprising to me, because Italians are also really strong water civs with the cheaper dock decks and faster up times, because it's cheaper, right? So it's easier to click up. I don't know about that. In any case, green now scouting around here to see what red is up to. And red also scouting around. Ooh, red now seeing a barracks from the Hun player. That's interesting. Also a barracks from blue. So they're not walling right now. They're not walling, as we have a quick wall. Nice quick walls there. Especially because red is about to hit feudal age. That's really nice. That's really nice, because that villager would have been a goner. Now it does get the barracks up. Archery range going up. So it looks like the strategy here is we first go aggressive with military. Right? We're going to stop them from walling. We go aggressive, and then we wall later, maybe. which is a good strategy, I'd say. I think that has worked out better than just trying to go for naked walls and hope for the best, basically. But that might not be what Red is going for, because Red not making that mistake, he has actually built a barracks. He is baking an archery range, so at least he will be able to defend himself. The only problem now you have you have archers and archers, right? You don't have that nice scout archer combo, so I don't know. That's why I would put Persians as the pocket here, because you can go for scouts and then later you can go for really good knights. You know, like, also because Italians just seems a bit stronger on water, as Orange now making it to the field late, not dropping a second dock though. You're gonna drop it now? Yeah, that has to be a second dock. Okay, it's up a bit late, but he will get it. And wait a minute. Oh yeah, wait, never mind. For a second there, I was like, oh, Grey's not going to water. That's because Grey is Vikings, and Vikings, you know, they're fine on this water map, I say, because you still have a lot of space, but you can't make fire ships, so you can't compete with that. You have to go for galleys instead, which is always risky. If you get overwhelmed early on, you'll just lose your galley numbers, and then there's not much you can contribute. So instead, Grey is going fast castle. He's going to dock later, and he's going to go for longboats, which destroy everything. Like, longboats are really good on this map. If you can get to a nice mass of longboats, there's not much that people can make to stop you. Except caravels. If Orange can make caravels, can get a mass of them going, that would be pretty good, because caravels do well against bunched up units. Which is usually what longboats tend to do, as Green does actually get some scouts in here. He can actually stop the wall now. He can stop the wall. Yeah, the wall will not go up. And this one hole can be a big problem for Red here. He has to plug that up fast. Sending over some archers here to defend for now, but the archers from Blue, they're on their way. So Green, what he wants to do right now, he wants to keep this open as long as he can. Just as long as he can keep this open, so the archers can get here and they can get some damage in. In the meantime, right, they're just happily walling this up, you know, behind here. Like, there's not a lot of stress here. All the stress is on the side with Red. And Red, he's forcing this down. Could actually just put a gate here right now to just quickly keep this army out. And I think they will keep this army out, but you can't wall behind easily now with the archers there. And hole, Red, that one hole. But the scouts are trapped now. They can't get out now. The villager will go down. That's nice. Scouts have armor though. I think they could maybe fight a little bit here. Bit tricky there. It's kind of weird now, because now you have 4 scouts in your base, but the walls are technically up, so I don't know about that. Also having our first water engagements. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Teal now. Teal will have to make a lot of fire ships here. In order, because you're going to be up against 2 players going to water here. You have to wait until Grey gets to the longboat. So Teal right now just needs to delay. You can't really push out across water so easily, because the defender's advantage is real on water, man. The defender's advantage. It's much easier for Orange and Purple to reinforce their units here. But Orange actually getting cleared up right here with the fire ships. That was not the best of engagements for him. So that's the thing too. If they lose their mass, it's going to be even worse against the longboats that are about to come out here. There's a longboat. You're also up against Viking economy, which is really solid. That's why Vikings are one of the best civ picks on this map, I should certainly say. They're up there with Byzantines. A civ like Spanish could be good as well. You know, you can boom up into conquistadors, push out over land. That's very strong. As Orange takes a demo shot. These are now weak, and he'll have to run away here. Yeah, Orange didn't have that much luck with the too much luck with the fire ships so far. Fire ships with Orange, they would beat generic fire ships, but not Byzantine fire ships. The reason for that is that Portuguese have more HP on their ships, as you can see. So in a 1v1 between fire ships, they would win, right? But not when your opponent has faster attacking fire ships. So far, the land aggression hasn't really worked out so far, I'd say, you know, for Green and Blue here. The defense from Red has been solid, but on water, it's a completely different story right now. I think Purple is about to lose what little fish he still had. Yeah, there's not much left, so I think Purple will be done done fishing for now. I think this is the time that you almost start adding fish yourself here if you were gray and teal. Anyways, yeah, gray is on the hunt here. We'll get some extra pickups here for the reinforcements. That's unfortunate for purple. At this point, you need to put your gather point in your dock. Keep your master ships in there, because if you lose them like that, that's just wasted resources. There's one scout for green in here, so at least he could, like, if he wanted to, he could still scout. Well, both players have, you know, both teams have gotten the walls up, so they're both you know, protected. Red is actually double walling as well, so they're, you know, they're signaling their intent. They still want to go for water. The thing is, they're losing water right now, so that's, you know, again, that's why if you're gonna wall up like this, right? Why is yellow not going to water? That's the question, right? If you're gonna wall up like this, like not even a gate in there to try to push out across, like blue and green, they're not just walling up, they're just protecting themselves, but they're also pushing out across, right? They're actively trying to break through. That's fine. You know, they have a nice scout archer combo. They will be behind in archer numbers, but they have more. Well, I mean, I guess they'll have to run away from this. That's too many archers. As you can see, red is doing fine on his own. I think yellow should have gone in the water here. Because you're up against Vikings. And Vikings, like, it's so difficult for orange to fight this. Because the Viking longbows are so fast, agile, they can just run away, and, you know, snipe. And there's little damage you can do to them. And there go the fire ships. Boom. Alrighty, well, orange and both orange and purple now make it to Castellate. They are hunting for fishing ships, but actually there is no fishing ships for teal. I'm not sure if he made some at the start, but he doesn't have any now. Well, you can't raid fishing ships when you don't have fishing ships, huh? As red just continues happily walling those up. Oh, there's actually still some scouts in here from green, still running around there. That's all good, that's all good. These scouts have upgrades, they have the attack upgrade, they have armor as well, so villagers cannot fight this, and purple hasn't responded to this at all. Like, the start has been really good so far for Quetzaklan here. Purple is gonna lose all these gold villagers because he's not responding to this. Wow, that's 6 villagers going down. If that wasn't already bad, it's bad now for purple. You know, he was probably focused over here or something like that. Steel and gray now coming back here to clear that up. Okay, purple now realizing there's scouts in his base is now fighting this. Again, these scouts, there might be only 2 scouts here, but they might like bloodline so far, but they have attack. Okay, think green not paying attention to these anymore. Okay, now he is. And this is why you need it more on water. Purple's just gonna get destroyed here. Now Persian war galleys aren't anything special really. Because we have cavalry archers now from the Tatar player. Makes a lot of sense. You know, Tatar cavalry archers are pretty strong, but not so much in the early age, right? Like in Castellates. Like, it's really an Imperial age when the cavalry archers start to shine here. But, of course, they do that extra damage. So, say, if they stand on this hill, they do extra hill damage versus the opponents below. They take less damage as well. That's a pretty strong bonus on a hilly terrain like this. Look how many hills there are to fight. Like, you can always retreat to another hill. You take that hill bonus again. Also, because it is an archer-archer combo, if they wanted to, blue and green could just go full skirmisher. Full skirmisher. Like, you make a few knights just in case, full skirmisher would counter this entire army. Or knights in siege, something like that. As purple actually, wow, he had a lot of war galleys in his dock. I did not know it was that many. They do have Botkin arrow. Longbows do not have Botkin arrow. Great for getting an upgrade there. That's pretty important upgrade as well. And you can't, I mean, longbows are strong, but they're not invincible just yet. Not just yet. And also, I think the war galleys will be able to clear up these little fire galleys here. Teal did not get the war galley upgrade, so these are not upgraded here. So they're actually gonna. I think purple will actually be fine here. Doing a really good job here, kiting this, giving orange some time to reboom here. But oh, do you see that? I was really wondering what that transport ship was for. Deal. He's not really interested in continuing the water play. He's like, we're going to throw in some knights here. And I think Orange knows about that. Yeah, he knows about that because there was an outpost just there. So he's aware what is going on. He is castling his gold. I like that. He's sending cavalry archers to snipe the villages before the knights come out. This is all really good stuff. And also, these villages cannot run away. And also, why cavalry archers, though, with Portuguese? He's going to continue with the CA? Really? Okay. Okay, cavalry archers for Portuguese. That's fine. I mean, usually they're played with crossbows, but that's fine. As Blue is running around the archers here. I wonder if he's thinking about running inside here. If he's thinking about running inside. Because there's still a hole. There is still a hole. He could still run in. He could run away from these archers forever. Try to raid wood lines. Like, all these wood lines, the gold and stones, would be pretty exposed. I think the villagers have gone down. And now Purple. Purple is here with the water control. Because Gray is down a lot of longbows, dude. I don't know, Quetzaklan, they kind of had one water there. But Purple with the insane production is kind of giving them a run for their money. So at least right now, neither side is really profiting from the fish right now. So the water right now is just kind of a stalemate. So actually, like the land, as the water stalemates, right, the land becomes more and more important. Especially if you're not going to transport. With our player. Now these cavalry archers are almost fully upgraded for Castle Age. That's a lot of knights. They don't have +2 though. They don't have +2. Ooh, that is a critical upgrade to miss here. You need to have +2 on your knights, especially if you're up against. If you're up against other knights, it's not that important. I'd say like the melee armor doesn't really matter too much. But against archers, you need that +2. You definitely need that +2. It matters so much. Also, the numbers just aren't quite here to defend this, but this castle has to go up. Yellow and red are getting pretty close here. Will this castle be denied? I think it should go up here. It's 4,300, 4,400. It should go up. Yellow and red will see this. The delay was just enough, and now they will have to back off here because they cannot kill that castle with crossbows. And Imperial Age coming in right now for blue. With quite little eco, actually. Doesn't have a lot of farms, but again, if you're just making cavalry archers, you don't quite need so much food as you usually would. Purple, in the meantime, is just being a beast on water here as well. It's definitely making it difficult here for Teal and Gray. Teal's landing plan, unfortunately, didn't pan out too well either. Gray is getting back on water with the longbows, though. Gray should have great economy as well, because, again, you're Vikings, you have handguard for free. So Gray should probably think about going up to Imperial Age himself. And I think he is thinking about it, looking at that food count. He just needs the gold in order to click up here. Now, what I like about this is that that blue and green now have a nice defensive position on a hill here. Like a lot of teams, they would just wall up over here and sit behind this wall, but this is actually a really bad defensive position, right? Because you're downhill, so enemies do hill bonus damage versus your buildings, versus your units. It's not a good position to be in. So actually, I prefer this a lot more. You get a castle up on this hill, and then you can defend this hill. And then if you lose control, right, you still have a wall to fall back on, but not as the main defense. I like this a lot better. And looks like Plateau Gold thinking about the same thing. He's going to drop a castle as well. They have the military control for now to defend this. So I think that castle will go up here. Imperial Age now also coming in for Orange there. Oh boy, and now it's Orange who's going to land here. Let's see what Gray can see. Let's see if Gray's going to notice that. He should be able to see that with the docks having the extra line of sight here. Yeah, you can see this. And Orange also happily letting Gray know that yo, I'm here. So, well, I mean, the transports have made it. I mean, the longboats could have sniped those from idle villagers, I guess. Now you do have cavalry archers in the economy, and who would have ever seen that coming? Portuguese cavalry archers. I mean, that the Tatar player goes for CA. I mean, that's kind of like duh, but Portuguese? I don't know, man. Well, I mean, it's working so far. There's not really anything from Gray to defend it. I don't think he has even made a barracks. No, he's not. Oh, he's gonna try to drop a castle, but that's gonna cost you some vills there. Oh boy. I will go up because I think. Will it actually go up? We're not even halfway, and half the villagers are dead already. I think you need to send more vills if you want to get this up. Imperial and H now also for orange here as well. Yeah, more vills going in now, but look how many villagers Gray is losing here. That is painful. Ouch. Okay, but orange, he realizes that castle will go up. I'm just gonna go snipe villagers somewhere else. Well, okay, well, say it serves me right for being a non-believer here. Portuguese cavalry archers definitely working out all right, and that's a mangonel in that siege workshop. Yellow definitely needs to be careful here. Tatar mangonels on a hill. That is lethal. You know, you might have a lot of crossbows. That's just more targets to hit for the mangonel from blue. So blue is going to be patient. He's going to be patient. He's going to keep that in his siege workshop. If yellow and red dare to get near this, they're gonna get smashed. But red is almost in the Imperial Ace here. Where did the cavalry archers go? Oh, they're right there. Okay. So it looks like the Byzantine player making some cheap camels to counter that. But unfortunately, still not able to kill these cavalry archers. Still not able to kill him here. We have Town Bell rung. And, oh man. That's 10 cavalry archers really bringing the economy for Quetzaklan in disarray there. What's going on water, actually? Looks like Gray is having his revenge on orange. He says, okay, that's nice that you're making cavalry archers, but I'm just going to stop you from transporting them, and then we're all good. And yep, that is the key. But oh boy, galleons coming in now. These are not elite longboats yet. They're going to get wrecked by the galleons now. Look at that. Galleons, they don't have bracer yet on the galleons though, but the galleons have more HP here, so they will be able to survive and withstand the fire from the longboats here. So this is really good. And orange still has the dock, could still make a transport ship and bring more cavalry archers to the other side. It's also forcing green to send army back here. Army that could be well used on this side here. Well, we have ourselves a standoff here. Neither player really has a commanding position on land. Neither player, I'd say, has a really commanding position on water, although it's looking a bit better for Plateau Gold so far. Gray just needs to get the elite longboat upgrade. Oh, he just got it. There you go. Get bracer, chemistry. There you go. And then longboats become really strong. Like they do very well against Cavalier. As we have a push now. No silk armor in yet for these cavalry archers. But again, they do a lot of damage versus their opponents when they're uphill there. As green, they're sending in his cavalry here. They have the final armor upgrade, so they can fight under castles here. Taking out the trebuchets just before the traps got to kill blue's trebuchets here. Silk armor, is it on the way for blue? Not seeing it on the way, but blue is actually going to attack into elite skirm here. Well, I said that at the beginning, didn't I? If your opponent goes full archer, then going elite skirm is totally fine. I mean, I would prefer the cavalry archers because they actually have more pierce armor with Tatar, so, you know. More expensive, I know, but I prefer it. But yeah, why not? Why not, right? I mean, if yellow and red insist on making archers, then you can easily go for that. As, oh boy, look at that. Yeah, look, see the difference. Do you see how fast the galleons die now? It's because he got bracers, because he got chemistry, because it's elite longboat now. Now again, we have a match on water. But orange is actually going to be sneaky with these cavalry archers. It was only 10 last time. It's more this time around. I wonder if Teal's going to try to come back on water. He might actually try to come back on water. I like that. Because if it's only purple, I think purple will die. He will die to fast fire ship and longboat. So then the water will be for Quetzaklan. They're also pushing back Plateau Gold across land right now. The double arbalest play is only going to work as long as it, as there's no skirmishes on the field. You're kind of missing some crucial armor upgrades there. I think. Okay, so he did actually get silk armor then. I thought it was just Parthian tactics and the normal armor, but if you look at the skirmishes here, they only have one armor upgrade here. So silk armor is in, just missing the normal archer armor upgrades, which I think you should still get, especially for the skirmishes because they don't get silk armor. Gonna have a fight over here. Oh, purple trying to drop a castle on the shoreline. It gets denied over here by the longbows. Does have a castle up over here, so gray should be careful here. Good for or purple to pull the longboats into the castle fire. The castle fire probably has heated shot as well, doing a lot of damage here. Yeah, so gray is fighting under a castle. That's not too handy here. That's I don't think he was paying attention to that one. That's he's losing a lot of ships here. Here comes Teal's going for his own war galleys and galleons then. The push on land is still going good. The amount of ground that they're winning right now is substantial, I'd say. Your green's now going to castle this hill, which is almost the last hill in front of, red and yellow's base. Also, it's just palisade walls, which will be broken through easily. It's not stone walled or anything. There's some castles on this side, but more concerning is this flank, because that's where your trade is going to be. And trade will at some point become a factor once teams start running out of gold. I also like how there's like some other walls behind this. And oh yeah, right, orange actually made it over with the transport, and now elite skirms being sent back here to deal with that. But again, these elite skirms only one armor upgrade, and as a result, they die quite fast here. But yeah, orange does need to fight them here. He's actually getting into the minimum range. Not sure if that's a good move. Yeah, that's a lot of elite skirms though. Yeah, I think orange should probably run away from that. I'm not sure if ballistics in. I'm not sure if ballistics is in here, or if skirmishes are just that inaccurate. Kuchara says 9++ play from Kuchara Laredo. Yeah. As you can see, let's see longbows bunch up like this, which is why caravels are very strong against them, right? Luckily for them, no caravels on the field. Like, caravels are the natural enemy for Vikings, because what you would use to counter caravels is fast fire ship, but Vikings don't get fast fire ship. So, just a problem for them. I must say these longbows did a lot of damage to the castle here, and nevertheless, look at that. It's actually a pretty even fight right now. They're not in the range of the castle. It's 6 ships versus 6 ships right now. But yeah, it's easier for Leona to reinforce here. So I think he will eventually win that fight. The castles for yellow, both of them have gone down. But the trap's going down for Quetzaklan here as well. So they will definitely have to back up here for a second. I don't know, there's not a whole lot of army right now. I think they were busy dealing, blue was busy dealing with the cavalry archers in his wood line. Took some damage there. Should probably get some lumber camps here to make his wood line a bit more efficient. Purple and gray still fighting over water. Like, I'm impressed that purple is still actually in this with the water. I mean, definitely castling the shoreline was important to keep your docks up. Also, as long as purple is making ships like this, it's going to be difficult for either player here on the other side to go for cannon galleons to start destroying these castles on the shoreline. So purple still being around is very important. Not sure why he's sending us ships right now. There's not much over here to fight, but oh well. Red and yellow still holding on. I mean, still, Quetzaklan still has the commanding position, in my opinion. They have more of the land bridge here. They could start collecting the relics if they really wanted to. I think that'd definitely be a good move at this point, right? When you have this much map control, get the relics. I'm not sure if Blue has thought about that. Just for the late game, right? Because again, you don't know how long this game is gonna take, right? There's no telling. And oh god, the hill bonus to Taurus skirmishes here. They're lacking some upgrades here. Still the final armor upgrade, and also lacking chemistry as well. Ooh, but the knights going down here, that's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of arbalests here. As soon as the knights get close to the castle, they're gonna get shredded themselves. So it's not too easy for blue and green to push past this. They have to bring in some siege, which they're doing right now. And this is why, right, this is why I prefer having a defensive position on the hill instead of downhill. Because look how fast that castle is going to go down to the trebuchets here. As we have purple making a hole here. And made a hole in green's part of the wall there. So at least if they have some mobile units, they could run through. But guess what? They're not really making mobile units. They're making archers. Yeah, look at that castle go down. Look at that, boom, 500 HP. There's no way to repair against it. That castle will go down, so that's just kind of a waste of stone. Purple's still holding on water. It's curious to me is the fact that both teams are fighting over water, but neither team is really fishing. You know, it's kind of funny, right? Like, you can see that, you know, I think teal fished a little bit at the start, but not too much here. Purple fished, but again, lost his fish. Neither team really is fishing here. It's kind of funny. They're both fighting over water control, but there's not actually a lot of things to control on the water besides being able to transport. So we have another fight over here. Halberdier now coming out from red. Pretty good addition, but now cavalry from the Portuguese player. They lack the final armor upgrade just yet. Or should go for that. A ram now coming forward as well. This is going to make it a bit more difficult here for the skirm play, which is why I said I prefer the cavalry archer play with the Tatars. Because once the cavalier come out, now you're in a pickle, and now you need teal to come here with the camels. Teal. Okay, there he goes. I think there's enough camels here to clear this up. Also lacking the final armor upgrade on these cavalier. Oh, actually, this just came in. Never mind. Arbalest are nearby as well. Chemistry now in for the skirm player, so he's doing okay here. It's just camels though. They lack a lot of upgrades, so they definitely melt to the Arbalest. The longboats are here as well. You know, like teal and gray fighting on water, fighting on land. There's a lot of military on the screen right now fighting. I like how Ram is mixing in some rams here. It's distracting a lot of fire from the skirmishers as well. And Condottiero as well. Alright. Yeah, so Yellow is completely done with Arbalest. He is making other units right now. And Condottiero are very fast. They do fine against camels. They do very good against skirmishers because of that speed. You know, they can chase them down easily. And right now, blue and green are being pushed back. And at the same time, purple is taking a fight here on water. Has a lot of galleons there. How many? That's a lot of longboats as well. I mean, do not be deceived by the fact that this is just such a small blob. That's a lot of longboats bunched up right there. Imagine caravels right now. Imagine caravels. A mass of caravels would destroy this little bunch of longboats. But I think purple is still going to win this. Longboats are OP, but if you're outmassed by the galleons can still clear you up. Galleons that miss lack bracer, by the way. Just saying. Like, Persians don't get bracer. You know, that's why their archers are kind of sucky. Which is why it's so strange to me that the Persian player is going water, right? Now imagine Persian knights over here. Paladin would be pretty good. They're holding on so far though. The rams definitely help a lot because they're distracting all this fire from blue. He almost needs to control his units and focus fire down, which is a lot of micro, and you don't really have time for that often case. Buildings are starting to go down here, so a green here now with Paladin. Okay, fully upgraded Paladin. Still died at Halberdier though. Condottiero also being sent forward now. Are they gonna run through that hole that purple made earlier? Because purple made a hole specifically for this. And it looks like blue and green can see this. They can see that gray definitely is aware of this, but the Condottiero, they have. I'm not sure if that's fully upgraded actually. Should be one more pierce armor that way. I don't know. Condottiero, they're not elite just yet here. Gonna run in here. There's some Arbalest here as well to help snipe any counter units here. Condottiero are an amazing raiding unit just because they're so fast, right? The speed of it is what makes them so strong, and also they don't get countered by pikemen or anything like that, or skirmishers. Looking pretty good. In the meantime, though, green has pushed back all the rams. Is now pushing back the Arbalest. There's no halberdiers here to defend this, so red is gonna sit in a choke point. I like that. I like that a lot. That's good. That's good. In the meantime, yellow is just making some progress here. It is stopping blue from reinforcing the front, which is good, because if they clear up the paladins from green, they can start pushing back the front again. In the meantime, another fight between purple and gray on water. And longboats, man, it's just the numbers aren't quite there to kill this many galleons. And that's a problem. It's a problem for Vikings, because they cannot switch into fast fire ships. Honestly, I think that the Byzantine player here, instead of going for galleons with no upgrades, he has no attack. He has no archer upgrades, no fletching. Ooh. Yeah, like what I'm saying. If the Byzantine player instead goes for fast fire ship, less upgrades, and it counters whatever purple is making here, and purple. No bracer, so again, not much he can do against that at all. Fast fire ship will destroy that for sure. Well, yellow's still raiding. He's raiding trade as well. That's pretty good. And I mean, trade cards are quite expensive still, especially when you don't have Italians on your team. But the paladins now, yeah, the paladins are coming in here, fully upgraded Hunt paladins. Should make short work of this, especially because, okay, well, these Grenadiers are fully upgraded now. But I still think the paladins should win this, just because they have enough numbers here. Reinforcements coming in as well. But again, these paladins are right here now. They're not at the front defending this castle. So if yellow and red are going for an attack, which they are going for right now, they might be able to push back this position here. They might be able to start pushing back on land. As you see, this is why you need upgrades. Look how fast that navy for teal went down. I hope maybe he switches into fast fire ship here. That would probably be a better idea. He's actually making a lot of heavy camels right now. That makes sense. Well, actually, that makes sense if you're fighting orange, but orange is actually getting back on water, and orange is making caravel, elite caravel. I love it. I love it. That's really good. That's going to counter the longboat play. If you can get a lot of longboats out, that'd be really strong. And purple right now still has a lot of units on the field. Rams now coming in here. That castle will probably go down. Blue is actually going to save his trebuchet. I like that. And yeah, camels. I don't know about that, man. Not when you're up against halberdier and arbalest here. The score lead is now for Plateau Gold. It's a very even game, this. I mean, they have defended solidly here. And also, let's see how much trade. I think the trade is starting to come up for red. As red says F. Why does red say F? Did he get wrecked by a... Maybe the castle F? I don't know what that was for. Not seeing a huge mangonel shot, which is what you usually hear that for. Ooh, the cavalry arch is coming out. Fully upgraded this time around. Look, with the silk armor attack, they have +7, which is why I say that is the unit to go for. You know, you only take 3 damage from arbalest, which is pretty damn good. Really damn good. Rams are a problem, though. Rams are a problem. The halberdiers are a problem as well, making it difficult for the hunt player to engage that. Hunts have such a big, have such a hard time dealing with full trash play. Such a hard time dealing with that. Like, you don't get strong infantry at all. Oh, oops. And if you can't go for either cavalry archers or for heavy cavalry, then you kind of don't really know what to do. As yellow is sending in spearmen of all things. In the meantime here, teal being pushed off of water still did not get any upgrades on his ship, so these galleons are just going to melt. Gray is keeping his longboats in his docks, which is a smart idea. Is doing a lot of damage on the right here, so purple is losing a lot of ships here, so probably back up a little bit. I don't know where orange went though. Where did orange go? Oh, that's what the F is for. Orange got killed, didn't he? Yeah, so orange was trying to transport something over. I think gray probably found orange, or teal did, and orange lost his units in the transports. That's probably what happened. That might be what the F is for. That makes sense. Too bad we didn't see that. It's hard to keep track of everything here. Yes, and cavalry archers, they do counter halberdiers, but when there's so many halberdiers to too much to shoot, that's a problem. And also green, all his his paladin went down. That's an expensive army. Even though you have trade, still it's going to be difficult for the hunt player to deal with this. Like, that's a question, right? Like, what does the hunt player do? As Falcon says, so glad that purple retook the water this game. Yeah, Leona definitely doing a really good job there. And I didn't upgrade my helps for it forever. Oh, really? Let me click the halberdiers. Oh, okay, yeah, that is true. These are not upgraded halberdiers. That is true as well. I mean, I don't think you really need the attack upgrades for fighting against cavalry, but surviving arrow fire, definitely a thing here. Italians, of course, don't get halberdier because you have Genoese crossbowmen, which, at this point, going for some Genoese X-bow is probably a good idea. Making your own cavalry could work as well. Well, again, we have a bit of a stalemate here as blue, with the tanky cavalry archers, is pushing back the army from red and yellow again. We have a little bit of a stalemate on water as well, because purple needs to bring in his mass here. Now, I think if orange just makes caravel here, right? Instead of trying to make land army and try to sneak transports over, right? make Caravel and start, you know, push Gray and Teal off of water forever. Like, seriously, Caravel would win here. As Orange is gonna... Oh, not next to a castle! Ooh, that was so close. That was so close. If that shot had been a hit, those Cavalier would have been dead. Well, let's see what this Cavalier can do here. I think Green has not responded to that whatsoever. He's taking a bunch of free hits on his Paladin. I think there's also too many Cavalier now. And now you have a lot of Cavalier running through the eco for Quetzaklan, and this is a problem. This is a problem because, you know, you still have water presence. The fact that Orange is able to sneak through here is... it's just a problem. Let's just leave it at that. All your production's forward. You're sending all your Q forward as well. The fact that they're making a lot of Hussars as well doesn't... I mean, it tells me that they don't have a whole lot of gold. And they don't. And now you have Cavalier in your base. And that's a lot of Cavalier as well. Oh boy. Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. Because the problem is, if you send units to deal with that, which is what Green is doing right now, you might lose the front again. What happened to the cavalry archers? Oh, they're over here. Okay. I was worried there for a sec that they were all dead. As Orange has made it all the way over here. I think he is... Oh, they want to hit the trade. Is that so? Yeah, Orange wants to destroy the markets here, kill the trade. Ironically, there's not actually that much trade yet here for most players. I think Green has a bunch of trade going on right now, but not too much trade. Honestly, I think you go for Vils here. As, yeah, the cavalry archers still do quite okay against the cavalier here. Hussars are a nice meat shield, you know, just to distract the cavalier from fighting. Orange has actually right-clicked the market because he wants to kill the market. But the thing is, one market stays up and the trade will still continue. So I don't think that this is gonna change much. Although Teal and Blue will lose their trade. That's good. One more market. Can you do it? He's sending all his Cavalier. Can he get this market down? There's only like, what, 10 Cavalier left here. I don't think that market's going to come down. I don't think so. In the meantime, Gray and Purple, again fighting. Gray and Purple, man. Again, Purple with Persian Galleons is holding on. It's just because he's producing so much. Has a lot of trade going on, so he has the wood and the gold to keep producing here. So imagine if Orange, instead of these raids, right? Instead of these raids, just make some caravel, right? And just kill the Viking player. And Falcon says, yeah, the trade at the end of the game was a huge difference. I bet that is indeed something that does concern me here. Is that Plateau Gold? Look, they have a lot of trade going on right now. Trade cards are cheaper because you have the Italians on your team. Not seeing that much trade yet from Quetzaklan. Like, Blue is trading a bit here. But see, it's not a lot of trade. And you're going to start running out of gold now. Because I'm not seeing a lot of gold. I don't think there is a lot of gold left here. There's some stone right there. But I'm not seeing a lot of gold. They didn't gather the relics either. You can't really gather the relics now because you only have half of the map control here. And without gold, Green won't be able to spam paladins. Blue won't be able to make more cavalry archers. And that is a problem. That is a problem. And also, no longbows. Like, Gray is making a lot of longbows here, but I wish I could see the trade numbers here. No. Unfortunately, I can't see numbers of trades here. Can I see it over here? No. I wish I could see the amount of trade cards that each team had. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see that. That's what Capture Age is for, but that lags when I try to do a 4v4 in Capture Age. I don't know. Oh, and Vitorias, of course. Of course, because you're Portuguese, right? Of course. If you don't make a Vitoria at the end, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like not going for the spam with infantry as gods. It's like what you're supposed to do. But Orange now with a lot of Cavalier making it over here, and that is going to be a problem for the skirm play. It's going to be a big problem for the skirmisher play. There's not enough cavalry archers here to kill this many Cavalier. And slowly, Plateau Gold is pushing back Quetzaklan across land. And that starts to become an issue because at some point, water is not that important anymore. Like, what water is hugely important for in the beginning is the fish, but neither team really fished here. Neither team is benefiting from that extra food boost, you know, because the water has been so heavily contested. You know, the only other thing is the raids, as Teal actually makes it through with some camels here. They're not fully upgraded just yet. And the Victoria going up, which now have half the HP pretty much, which I like as it's a welcome change for me. Yeah, these heavy camels, they might be heavy camels, but they still lack that armor, so they will still go down to the Portuguese cavalry here. Capped Rams rolling forward here, killing more buildings there. Orange now taking a fight against the Paladin there as good as he can. Paladin should... Well, the Paladin normally would win, but they don't have the numbers. Don't have the numbers. Gray sending in Pikemen as well, lacking some upgrades. I don't know if he got Chieftains, which gives his Pikemen more attack versus Cavalry, which is an important upgrade if you do make Pikemen. But you see... Gray Gray doesn't have a lot of longbows left. Teal still hasn't gotten upgrades on his galleons, so can't fight this whatsoever. Like, you gotta have at least fletching, man. Yeah, Teal's not gonna be able to help much here. He does want to. Oh no, there were units in that transport ship. Oh, that sucks. I think Green lost a bunch of Paladin there. F. Ouch. That sucks. I was wondering how those camels got there. I think he transported them. I think at this point, Quetzaklan probably realizing that their water is... without gold, they won't be able to continue contesting water. And there's just too many galleons on water now for Purple. And Purple, if he wants to, he can start adding some cannon galleons and start bombarding the shore. Taking out the docks, the castles. Oh boy. Well, we're not at the end yet. I don't want to have spoilers. Although I must say it's starting to look pretty grim here for Quetzaklan, especially when the walls are broken. Orange does make it into the trade here. Helvetiers now from the Tatar player, lacking some melee armor upgrades, but that's fine for now, I'd say. Like again, like the melee armor is not that upgrades aren't that important when you're going Helvetier versus cavalry, because they still do really they do fine against cavalry. I mean, melee armor is more important than attack, I'd say. Yeah, Orange trying... I don't know sure what Orange was trying to do there, but he lost most of his cavalier on the way. Yeah, and Teal can't move out here. He can't do anything. There's too many. And there you go. Cannon Galleons. Elite Cannon Galleons now coming in for Purple. He's going to take out the castle. Of course, made easier by the fact that now Cannon Galleons, as soon as you research chemistry, you immediately have access to Cannon Galleons instead of having to research that upgrade yourself. And now it's going to get tough to defend this, because now the hill is in favor for red and yellow. I think red and yellow, if they want to, they should probably bring some villagers forward and start castling. As we have hand cannoneers from the Italian player to counter all the halberdiers that we're seeing. I like that a lot. Halberdiers now to counter the Hussar spam as well. Hussars just... What do you do against that many pikemen or halberdiers with Huns? Like, I have struggled with this problem. I love playing Huns, but it's so annoying when someone goes full trash against you or makes something that counters both that counters your paladin and counters your cavalry archers. It's just hard to deal with. As Green does snipe the trebuchets here, it's gonna get a surround in on the arbalest as well. So Red is gonna lose some units here. Red might actually lose all those arbalests here. This is a really nice clear up for Green, just giving them a bit of breathing room to march up this hill again, take control of that, because the fights are gonna be much better if you can take position there. As Green doesn't finish the work. Green? Oh, okay, there he goes. In the meantime, though, yeah, Gray can't, he's trying to get back onto water here, but the problem is, there's so much navy over on the water here already. You're going to lose castles now, you're going to start to lose docks here as well, and that's so difficult to stop at this point. At this point, the only chance you have as you ungarrisons all those longbows at the same time. But again, there's just too many galleons here, and they might be Persian galleons, missing brace are not very strong. But the numbers, man, the numbers do enough damage here, and Gray's going to lose his longbows here, and there's just not much that he can do at this point. Not much that he can do at this point. I mean, at this point, you almost need to dock on the other side and hope that Purple doesn't find you until you get enough longbows on the field. as green is actually walling up the side because they know what time it is. They know what time it is. They know that orange likes to get to transport ships. They're like, we need to prepare for the shore landings here because the water is not ours. I think, honestly, I think if the Byzantine player had gone for fire ships instead of galleons, this would have been completely different, right? Because the galleons would have been destroyed for purple. Because these are Persian galleons, they miss bracers, so they're not very strong against fast fire ships already. Orange wasn't really helping on water so much anymore anyways, right? So I think at that point, teal and gray can actually win water, push purple and orange back. I'm not sure about the land at that point, you know, because orange might then send its units to land and create an advantage there, but at least you have water then. You can start landing again, you can try to get into their trade, harass their shore, things like that. Because now, it's kind of 50-50 on land, but the water is firmly in the hands of the Plateau Gold team. Castles will start to go down, town centers, houses, any trade that passed near the shore will be targeted as well. Which I think purple just noticed. Yeah, he noticed that. He noticed that for sure. And one trade card going down before it makes it to the edge here. I think you need to delete these markets right now. Yeah, delete the markets. Because that is not a good sign here. But just compare the queues, right? Arbalest, Rams, gold units. Cavalier, gold units. Galleons, gold units. Which the other one? Oh yeah, Condottiero and hand cannoneer, gold units. Halberdier, elite skirmisher, hussar, and that's the thing. I mean, that's what Falcon said. The trade makes a difference. Right now, it's full trash play for Quetzaklan because they don't really have the gold, which we can see right there. Don't really have that much gold, except blue. Blue actually has a bunch of gold here. He's not spending it on units right now either. He's actually spending it on trade, which is the right call, right? Because you need to invest gold in order to get gold. Well, they're still in the middle here. It's not like they're being pushed back into the rest of their base, but how long is that going to last when more gold units start coming out? I mean, gold units in the end will beat trash units. I mean, they should beat trash units because otherwise, why would we even make gold units, right? If gold units can't beat trash units. I like this as well. Fortified wall here from the Japanese player is fortifying up this position. A nice gate here. This is a weak point though in the wall. Should probably just destroy that and to finish the fortified wall there. It's going to be so difficult to ever get to the trade across land. And the other hope was maybe we can, you know, transport across, you know, get a position there and get into the trade. But again, not when you lose water. And purple is just clearing up everything now. And they realize if they're gonna have a chance here, they have to push across land. They have to push across land. Have to get their trade up, right? They have to push across land. I'm seeing a lot of trade for blue here. I like that. That's probably why blue has a lot of gold here. But they need to get gold units on the field sometime. And again, if the Tatars can get to a really nice ball of tanky cavalry archers, they're dangerous. If Byzantines can run in here with Kappa frags, very dangerous as well. Vikings can go for berserks for Arbalest as well. Or try to get back onto water somehow. I think Teal just deleted this markets there to make sure that the trade doesn't path into the shore. As we have like little stretches of walls here, you know, just to defend the shoreline because they realize it's too easy now for Orange to transport, and Orange is gonna transport because of course he is gonna transport. He's been trying to do that all game. This time around, there's nothing on water to stop him. You know, he has free reign to do whatever he wants over here. For now, it's just Cavalier, but as soon as Orange realizes that there is just, you know, space to be here, he could send some vills. He can start building production buildings. And why that is bad for Quetzalcoatl is that they have to divert resources to defend from the landings now. Although Orange, I'm not really sure what Orange's plan was here, but yeah, that was not a good fight for Orange whatsoever. Oh boy. I think Orange is a bit too focused on trying to kill the markets. I think what you do, you send cavaliers and you just spread them out across your opponent's economy, into the wood lines, into the trade, right? Because if you have to chase with halberdiers, halberdiers don't do that well because they're slower, right? Just split up your cavaliers and you're fine. I wouldn't take a pitched fight now. And also, you alerted Quetzaklan that there might be more cavaliers coming here, so I'm not sure what Orange's plan is. Yeah, use the mobility. Yeah, or I think Orange, what he wants to do, he wants to destroy the markets, because if you destroy the markets, it immediately stops the trade, right? You have to rebuild the markets then. I just don't think that's really worth it. It's cheap enough at this point to build new markets. You know, and as soon as you build a market as well, trade will restart again. Or it should, at least. Using the mobility. I think Yellow starts securing the ice bridge soon. They're definitely making headway here. And the thing is, the skirm play, yeah, they might kill the halberdiers a little bit here. They might counter the arbalest, but they get smashed by the cavalier. You don't need that many cavalier to make a difference here. Purple now here attacking production buildings as well. It will probably bring it in as cannon galleons. Yep, there he goes. Start destroying some stuff over here. Orange again going to transport, and that's a lot of transport ships as well. And there's absolutely nothing that they can do about it. They can only defend once Orange lands. Let's see if Orange... man, there's a lot of cavalier. Having gold is so nice, isn't it? Isn't it? That's so many cavalier. Please don't do it again. Orange. Orange. Orange, don't do it again. It's a trap. No. Oh, Orange. I think Orange is an archer player. He played archers last time around, and he did a pretty good job there. What about 4 transport ships, right? Yeah, well, let's see if it works this time, right? I don't think this is gonna work. There's too many halberdiers now. You're making it a little bit too easy for Quetzalcoatl to defend the shore now if you're just gonna land in the same spot here. This is like this is like when you wall your town, right? You wall your town, and you just leave one hole for the AI to stream units through, and you just defend that one hole, and the AI will just keep trying to get through that hole because that's the easiest way to get into your town. Oh boy. Anyways, bombard towers now from the Italian player. Look how many bombard towers. It's going to be so difficult to push that back when you're only using trash. You know, the more bombard towers come up, the less ground you can gain. You know, because Hussars can't fight under bombard towers. They just can't. They just do too much damage. They're too tanky as well. Like, look at that, 2,686 HP. Lots of armor on those buildings as well. So you need... At that point, you kind of need rams and trebuchets and bombard cannons and things like that. But if you don't have gold, you don't have a lot of gold, you can't afford stuff like that. That's a luxury. It's a luxury. Well, I mean, if Orange insists on transporting things here and attacking this one market, then, well, it's going to be pretty easy for Teal and Grey to defend the coast. Oh, actually, well, okay, Orange went around, did actually kill a market, but, you know, one market still standing is good enough. KD is going to be pretty. He's going to be pretty good for Teal then at the end. Bombard towers are a problem though. Bombard towers are a problem. The fact that there's navy here as well, just kind of like shooting along. Any unit that comes through the gates here is going to get targeted as well. And that's the thing. Quetzalcoatl is doing a really good job holding right now, but that's something you need. You know, when you're in this position, you need to think. As we have a lot of idle trade cards as well, you need to think. What are we gaining right now? What's our win condition? What are we gonna get from our hold here? Are we at length gonna switch into something else? Are we going to make a better unit here? And right now it just doesn't seem like Quetzalcoatl is preparing a switch here. It's just mostly good trash units so far. Oh, as we get champions now from Grey. Okay, well that's a switch of units. I will definitely counter the halberdiers. I will definitely counter the skirmishers. Not so much the arbalest, but not a lot there indeed. I wonder if Orange is going to try it again. Orange is going to try it again, and he's going to go somewhere else. Let's go, Orange. And that might actually be the death blow. Because now you have a lot of halberdiers over here. A lot of population just sitting there defending this spot because, well, Orange kept going there. And Orange instead is going to run right into the middle of the eco. They're already... Most of the population is needed to hold this back. A lot of pop is right here defending nothing right now. So there is not anything to address this giant army of Cavalier. There's no gold in the world that can allow for that. And also, Persian player making Paladin. Making Paladin still bombarding the shore. And now you suddenly have a lot of Cavalier in your eco. Green is signal that he's saying, guys, Cavalier. And orange, of course he's going to go straight for the market. Don't tell me he's going to go all the way for the markets again. You're giving them time to reinforce. Spread out your Cavalier. Kill these fills. Kill these fills. It's about eco right now. They're not actually trading that much. I think if Orange knew that Quetzaklan didn't really have that much trade right now, he might not be so laser focused on the trade so much. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like you see that in pro games, like everyone's trading, and the moment the pro team loses control of the trade, it's GG, right? So it makes sense. He thinks, okay, I'm gonna kill the trade, and then it's GG. But that's actually not really what's keeping Quetzaklan alive. It's their food and wood eco to keep spamming trash units. That's what's keeping them alive right now. If he hits that. Hits the farming eco, that's GG. That is the GG here. Trade's not really going to make the difference here. I mean, it definitely doesn't help, but... That doesn't mean, though, I mean, at this point also, there's not much that they can do, actually. The trade will actually stop here. It will stop because Orange will actually stop all the trade cards from going now because the markets are all down. So if Quetzaklan we're hoping about, we're thinking about trading here, those dreams are dashed right now, as Orange might actually start raiding now, or if is he still looking for markets? Man, Orange really hates markets, man. And they call it GG. They realize there's nothing to kill these Cavaliers. Now you start raiding the economy. Blue resigns, green resigns, and that is the end for Quetzaklan. Plateau Gold does, after an hour and 46 minutes, close out the set with a 2-0 on Glacier, the home map for Quetzaklan. Good luck next from Cuchara Loreda. I like that. I love it when people are like, courteous to one another. When you realize, okay, my opponent has bested me. It was a good game though. GG. Congratulations to Plateau Gold. They will be going on to the next round. Good luck next time, of course, for Quetzaklan. Both teams played really well. I mean, this was not a stomp by any means. Plateau Gold was very near to losing this game here, losing position there. But I think a shout out to Purple. Holding water by himself, because Orange wasn't really helping with the Portuguese Navy, with Persians in the late game. It's pretty impressive against Longboat. That's a lot of ships you have to produce. So that's impressive. And that allowed, because if they had gotten the water, Quetzalcoatl, that Teal was thinking about transporting more units. They would have done the same thing that Purple now did to them, bombard the shore, start transporting units and raiding, and it would have been a completely different game. I think Teal going for fast fire ships would have definitely made a difference there with Byzantines. They attack 25% faster, so they're the best fire ships in the game. Especially if you get Greek fire, more range. That's good. That's really good. And then caravels won't work either. So, but yeah, the one other main thing is just the gold. It's the trade for Plateau Gold was up much earlier and in much greater numbers than it was for Quetzalcoatl. And you saw that the problem is that when you start running out of gold, trade cards cost gold as well. So you have to invest gold into getting trade up. So that's, you have to time that well. It's easier with Italians when you have the cheaper trade cards, of course. But yeah, once the trade is up, it's just an infinite source of gold for you, and you can just keep spamming gold units. And in the end, that should beat full trash play. Bomb Tower is definitely not helping either. So what is interesting to me is that both sides, neither side really fished on this map. There's so much fish still left. So I mean, it cancels each other out, right? Normally, the player that wins water fishes and then gets a faster imp, but I guess this time that didn't really matter. GG, thanks for casting, says Falco. You're welcome. I really enjoyed the set there. Let's see. Well, let's look at the statistics. It was a long game, so I'd be very interested in that. 1,265 units killed for Falco. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's up when you're up against trash play there. Lost a lot of units himself because of Halberdiers, of course. And of course, if you don't upgrade them, Falco? Nah, that's totally fine. Lots of kills. Yeah, lots of kills all around. This was a long game here. But yeah, you can see the Hunt player, like the kill count is a bit lower here. It's because you basically have Hussars. That's your best trash unit. You don't have good infantry. there's little you can do against trash. You also don't have good siege either. That's really the problem with Huns. So I understand the position. Lots of units dying and being created here for blue. Like, it must be so much army that has been created here. Yeah, this was an awesome game here. But you can tell who is pushing more buildings here, and that's really what matters at the end here. Lots of sling going on as well. Plateau, again, slinging around, slinging orange to make more units, slinging purple to make more units as well. I like that. Some sling going on the other side as well. Definitely to keep green alive, right? To get him to Paladin, have him spam. Wow, that's a lot of wood collected for the Persian player there. Great economies here as well. Really nice boom there for yellow, but I think everyone had a pretty solid boom there all around. Looking at the timeline, yeah, this is the hallmark of an even game, right? It's nearly even right there. Look at that. Neither side really had a decisive advantage in population there. Especially like at the end, you still end with almost 1,500 population. That's crazy. Oof. Alrighty.